Welcome to your Daily Dose of Hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. I'm going to do something different today. I'm just going to read an excerpt of a much longer post that was written by Marc Elias of the Democracy Docket. If you'd like to read the whole post, I will link to it in the episode notes. It usually comes as a question, what gives you hope? And sometimes it's more of a demand, tell me something hopeful. Everywhere I turn, in person and online, from lawyers to retirees, activists to students, people are searching for hopeful words about the future of democracy. I know what they want. They want me to say that I have a special knowledge, a hidden plan, some inside information that will assure them that this nightmare will end. They want to hear that democracy will survive and that our institutions will hold, and it'll all turn out okay in the end. The assumption seems to be that I would only be fighting for democracy in court and speaking out in the media and angering Trump and his enablers and doing everything I can to defend our elections if I were sure we would prevail. If only that were the case. For some, hope is an emotion of optimism, a bright faith that things will inevitably improve. As a candidate, President Obama defined hope as that thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to work for it and to fight for it. It was a stirring definition, one that inspired millions. But I didn't buy it then, and I don't buy it now. For me, hope is not a feeling of certainty about the future. It is born of the knowledge that we may do everything we can without the assurance that it will be enough. Hope is accepting that the arc of the moral universe may not bend towards justice, even if all of us push with everything we have. Hope is recognizing that evil and injustice can prevail, even if we, as Obama suggested, reach for it and work for it and fight for it. In other words, hope is not a naive emotion. It's a sober responsibility. Hope is what we do when the odds are long and the options are limited. It's the stubborn act of trying when despair feels easier. Rather than a passive optimism, hope is the commitment of those who believe that they can make a difference, however small. Hope is not a promise. It's not guarantee of success. It's the courage to act in the face of uncertainty. And right now, in this fragile moment for our democracy, it's the most important responsibility we share. Whether you agree with, all of his stand on things, I think that we can all agree that hope is the courage to act in the face of uncertainty. I hope that this gives you some encouragement to keep pushing for things, even when it feels like it's hard or difficult, or when it might not work out the way you want. Because we don't know, and giving up before we find out just really isn't an option. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.